It's early morning in Dundee.
What is somebody doing up there?
And it's panic stations at the hands.
Hey, what's going on? Who's got the water going? Bath's overflowed. Who started filling the bath? Who was running the bath? Meg!
Meg has left the bath running all over Roy's nice new vinyl floor.
You were running the bath. Now grab some of the towels from downstairs. I need some towels.
And now it's raining in the kitchen.
That was Meg running the bath and leaving it on.
Well,
So it was
that's where the bath
overflowing.
is. And why
No,
is
the
that-
water's run all the way along the roof.
Guys, this would be a good TikTok.
It's-
See you next time!
But you shouldn't be running the bath by yourself.
Peak hour.
Are you going to clean this up?
Meg, this is your Meg.
On top of dealing with the leaky ceiling, Roy and Emma are on babysitting duty again for Lachlan and Milo. Because about 45 minutes from Dundee, on the outskirts of Alloa in Clackmannanshire, their mum and dad are at work.
I'll put the aprons in the dryer.
The third oldest hand child, Polly, runs a farm shop, with help from husband Michael.
Polly's a celebrity. It's her
I wouldn't
pantry.
say that. I wouldn't say that. Michael's starting to become the celebrity.
With the
Mike-
grannies. The 45 to 60s, that's my age group, the cougars.
Don't take strawberries because we need the rest, I think.
The farm shop has only been open for a couple of months, but Polly and Michael have been struggling to make ends meet.
Did you take anything?
I
Going to go and set up the stall and flip and have
Right,
nothing
you're going to
there.
get there and be like, there's far too much stuff.
So today, Michael is taking some stock to sell at a nearby farmer's market, hoping it will help balance the books.
The arguments never last that long. And then we realise we're arguing about absolutely nothing. We're arguing over like a chutney or something, and then we realise, like, what are we actually doing? It's just survival. You just survive from month to month. And that's what it's going to be like.
We're deep in and we're stuck with the business, but we love it, so it's worth it. It's just a lot of work and it's non-stop. It's just keeping it going.
Me and Polly sometimes just say, like, we actually don't have a clue what we're doing. We just make it up as we go along. We're thinking, do lots of other small businesses, are they just the same? But I like being like that. Makes it exciting. Oh, you took them out the sun.
Michael's sister, Rachel, is helping out at his pitch.
Just fine in the box.
Michael, too, comes from a large Mormon family, though he and Polly are now less involved with the church. Polly moved out of Roy and Emma's 6 years ago when she and Michael got married, and still relies on all the grandparents for free childcare.
My son he's 3, my oldest, Lachlan, and his best friend is Meg, and she is my youngest sister, and she's 6, obviously. And as nice as that is, it is a bit strange for me because she'll come to my house and she'll say things like, oh, mum and dad were to die, I'd come live with you and I could be your daughter. And I'm like, that's a really weird thought, but she could be my daughter.
I wanted to. I forgot. And Eva was screaming at me like, Meg, Meg, Meg.
Growing up with such a big family, it never seemed really strange to me growing up. I knew we were slightly different, but because I was in the church, it was pretty normal to have a big family. We were just abnormal in the church because we were slightly bigger than the average in the church. But now that I don't go to church, it's really obvious to me that having a big family is completely strange. And it's not normal, and it sounds bad, but mentally something kind of gets you to that stage of to have that many. I think my parents have done an amazing job, but it definitely has its issues with having so many, and I'm realizing how strange and different and weird it is to have that many.
Things have settled down now after this morning's catastrophe. And while the kids play downstairs, upstairs, Roy and Emma are having a tidy.
This is us getting married. Beautiful picture.
Emma and Roy married 31 years ago, after only knowing each other for a few months.
This is a letter I wrote to Emma when I was 21. It says, "Dearest Emma, every day when I look at you, you glow more and you radiate so much beauty. I love you and I miss you a lot. I know that we're both children of our Heavenly Father and that He loves us even if no one else did. But we're very fortunate to both be in strong member families." And a bit later on, because Emma was I think I was more churchy at that point than Emma was, because I say to her, "So how are the prayers going? Are you finding it easier or are you just not bothering?"
For 46 years, Emma and Roy were part of the Mormon church and raised their children as Mormons.
Baptism by Roy, who's a high priest.
Yeah.
He baptised all our children.
But 6 years ago, they moved away from the church and left all the responsibilities that came with it.
A gifted receipt from the church. Like to try and claim that back.
£4,680
That year.
pounds I paid that year, look, for the church. You have to pay 10% of your income.
They call it voluntary donation.
It says a voluntary donation, but if you want to actually go to the temple, you want to hold columns in the church, you know, if you want to actually progress in Mormonism kind of thing.
To be a real Mormon, like
to be a real
doing
Mormon,
it
you have to do
correctly.
it. £7,587, that's what I paid to the Mormon church.
That year.
And I'm trying to raise this family. I mean, I was very into the church. I totally believed in it. And I totally believed that what we were doing was the right thing, and that, you know, we had to help people understand what was right and we had to bring them into the church. I was a very good missionary. And they say it to all the missionaries, especially the males, this is your next kind of task in life is to get married and go to the temple and be sealed and then have children. Do you mean? Because that's what God wants you to do. And that's what they task you to do. They put that pressure on you at the end. And I bought into that. I totally believed that as well. So when I came back and me and Emma met, it was like, you know, well, let's not. I very much was pushing, let's not put this off. Let's get married.
Roy and I'd grown up with big families, big Mormon families, and we knew that, you know, nature's way was God's way, and so like to use birth control or anything would be putting a barrier between what God wanted and what we wanted necessarily. I don't know.
Now we're not part of that church. It's made us reflect and look back on ourselves and look at what we've done with all these kids, and we don't regret having as much children as we have, but we do regret having as much children as we have. I did take it literally, what I was taught.
And in Lossiemouth, Ben's just getting home from work
Hello.
and is greeted with a tantrum.
Why are you being such a Fruit Loop? Just do a poo, baby.
The whole house is starting to look ahead to the birth and wondering what they'll be having.
A boy, I think a girl, I think a boy. I'm the only one who thinks it's going to be a boy.
Do you think it's going to be a baby brother or a baby sister?
I think it's going to be a boy or a girl.
When the big day comes, as all the grandparents are down south and babysitters are hard to find for 11 kids, they're working out whether Ben will actually be there.
So when it comes to births, I haven't been at a childbirth for a while.
Yeah, so normally I will go off on my own and have a baby, and Ben will stay with the children.
It's always been difficult to what we're going to do with the rest of the children, you know. So it's kind of Zoe's gone off. Normally 9 times out of 10, by the time I get there, she's had the baby.
You know, I'd like him to be there. It'd be nice if he could be there, but it's not practical in our situation. So it's something that I can kind of get through on my own.
Do you think you'll have more?
I think Ben will probably stop me at some point. Ben's always saying, this has got to be the last one now. It's got to be the last one. But I kind of think, they're just so, you know, they're just so lovely. Listen.
Zoe is due at the hospital later for another scan.
My pancake's a bit hard. Has it gone stale?
These are the first ones, I think. It's for the 12-week scans.
Due to her multiple births and age, her pregnancy is classed as very high risk, especially as she's had complications in the past.
So Leah and Erin were born premature. They were born 12 weeks premature. It was very difficult while it was happening. There was a lot of difficulties.
I woke up one night and had, I thought my waters had gone, but it wasn't. I was bleeding. So kind of shouted Ben. Ben didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know what to do. So we phoned the hospital. They phoned an ambulance. The ambulance came and took me to the hospital. That's when they decided to give me a C-section. So they were born. Erin was the much smaller twin. They actually said to us it's 50-50 whether she pulls through or not. At her lowest weight, she was 810 grams. That was her lowest. That was how tiny she was. She was tiny, tiny, tiny. But, you know, now that they're fine and they're doing really well, so they're okay now. But it's still quite traumatic. Do you know what I mean? It's still quite, still quite traumatic.
With every new pregnancy, the risk of complications increases.
Mummy, where are you going?
I've got to go to the hospital. No, baby, you're not allowed. I'm really sorry.
Today's scan will hopefully bring peace of mind that everything is progressing as it should, for now.
Let me get, what else do I need? Oh, my coat doesn't fit. Oh, my coat doesn't fit.
The market stalls are packing up, and Michael is weighing up whether today has been worthwhile.
It's okay. Not everything's a roaring success. It's pretty average. But, yeah, wasn't a disaster. I think we made around £300 to £350, which is okay. Listen, if we made that every week for one day, it's not bad.
Weekend markets aren't going to dig Polly and Michael out of the hole they're in, but they have another plan that could make or break the business. Back in Lossiemouth, the family are waiting for word from Zoe at the hospital.
It's a relief once she's been for the scan. For me, it's like there's always all these stages through pregnancy that you've got to go through, and we're getting closer to the end now. But I'm excited. Yeah, it's one of those things that people always say to us, "Why do you want so many kids? Why have so many children when prices are going up, when the cost of living is going through the roof?" It's difficult sometimes. It's busy. It's chaos sometimes, but I'll take all of that. I'll take all of the stress, all of the strain, all of the worry and everything to have what we have and to have the children we have. And we know how lucky we are. No, I wouldn't change it for the world. I feel really, really lucky. Everybody come downstairs! Where is everybody? Come in a minute. No. Mummy's showing scan pictures. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, can you see it? Say, Mummy, where's the baby?
Mummy, where's the baby?
A video call is not the best way to get a look at the baby, but
Can you hear the baby's heart?
the baby's healthy heartbeat comes through loud and clear.
Zoe?
Yeah, sorry, I'm watching.
So everything's okay then?
Uh-huh.
Everything's good?
I'll speak to you in a minute, alright?
Yeah, okay, that was really cool.
Right.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. I'm glad everything's all right.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye. Say bye, Mummy. Bye. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's good to hear the baby's heart. It's good to hear that everything's okay.
I want to stop with
It's another big relief, you know, and it's another tick. So we're a little bit closer to having a baby and everything's okay, so it's nice to see. It looked like a blob, didn't it? It looked like a blob. Oh, you all right?
Feeling more confident about their new arrival,
Oh, that's cute.
Zoe and Ben start to look out old baby things they've stored away.
So I needed to get the stuff out just to see what I might need to buy.
With the family feeling the squeeze now more than ever, it's essential for them to reuse as much as possible.
Right, I think that's it. I'm going to pass things down then.
Because Christmas is just around the corner and it's not going to be cheap.
She can wear this.
In Dundee, there's a chill in the air and the nights are getting darker. And the hands are feeling festive.
Well, normally we get a real tree, but we've got a situation. Some newspaper wants to do a photograph of, like, Christmas with our family, and it's still November. And they want to have it as if it's Christmas time, and we're not buying a tree yet because it'll be dead by the time we get to Christmas.
Quite often we get asked, especially this time of year, to do stuff for the papers. Quite often they'll pay us to do some of the stuff. So what we kind of do now is we just say to the kids, if we get anything, they can share it. Because it's hard to get them to do anything nowadays. Money's always a good incentive.
Whenever Roy and Emma are approached by a paper to take a photo, the money is only split between the kids if they can stand still and smile nicely for a few minutes. Roy and Emma then have a professionally produced festive family photo.
Is that it? It actually looks nice. Right, I need you all to come here and try these jumpers.
With a few hours to wait before the photographer arrives, outside Alloa,
Lachlan, do you want to put the star on?
Roy and Emma aren't the only ones getting into the Christmas spirit early. And Polly is getting a last-minute text from her mum to see if she can make it to the photo shoot, to bulk up the numbers.
Oh, it's a wee bit of a wonky star.
I stopped kind of doing that when we got married, but my mum will occasionally still do it, but she'll say, like, I'll bring the grandkids and stuff so it looks like more people, because technically there's not as many living in the house. Still a lot, but not as many.
Polly and Michael are going to have their hands full in December with their plan to bring in money and help the business.
So there's a little bit on the end of the building, they call it like the bothy or something, basically like a extra wee room that never gets used, just storage. So we wanted to do Santa's Grotto, decorate it, the kids will come, meet Santa, get a present, get a picture, all the good stuff.
Hello, Santa!
Whoa!
Santa's Grotto might bring in business, but at the moment, it's more grotty than grotto.
It looks like a total crap hole right now, but we'll decorate it and make it nice.
I don't think it's as bad as it looks. Still so much to do though, isn't there?
Polly and Michael have their work cut out if they're going to bring Christmas cheer to Clackmannanshire.
Do you like working with kids, by the way?
Meanwhile, back in Dundee,
Ready? 1, 2, 3, tea.
the hands are trying their best to muster some fake Christmas spirit for their festive photo shoot.
Smile faces.
But some of the family don't think a cash incentive is enough to stand still and smile nicely.
I think Posey's been silly. She's doing faces, I could tell.
Should we do it with her left hand?
So Emma has to sweeten the deal just to get Posey to stand still.
After this, I'm going to go get a big load of 20 nuggets. Okay?
Alice, where are you going?
Right.
Hold them between the two of you.
Come on. Just do everything that you're told, okay?
20 chicken nuggets is a small price to pay for Emma to get her perfect family photo. But even a midweek takeaway isn't enough to keep Posey still.
Squeeze in, everyone squeeze in. Okay, all look in. Posey, get up. 20 nuggets.
20 nuggets?
And now the other children have caught wind that Posey has been offered a treat, and everyone wants to get in on the action.
1, 2, 3, chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets!
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets! I'll go get the car keys outside.
It wasn't the worst that we've ever done. As they were misbehaving, I was just saying, 20 chicken nuggets, Posey in their ear. It's like, 20 nuggets, and then, 20 nuggets.
Right, everyone got a seatbelt on.
No.
200 what?
200 chicken nuggets.
I'm not getting 200.
I know, 100 chicken.
Right.
Well, that's what happens, and it always happens because it ends up costing me money.
Can I get 5 20-piece nuggets, please?
I mean, hopefully there might be a good photograph out of it. That's what we can hope for.
Organising a one-day fake Christmas for a large family is tough, but in a few weeks it will be the real thing. And Emma may have splashed out today, but the total Christmas spend for the largest family in Scotland will leave a much bigger hole in their bank account. With the calendar finally tipping over into December, the Christmas countdown begins.